everyone, my name is Trần Thị Thanh Ngân. I'm a student from class 5-1 and study at Hiệp Primary School. Have you ever wondered how far someone could go for their family? Today, I would like to tell you a story called The Wild Swans. Princess Eliza had 11 brothers until their father married a wicked queen who was actually a witch. Out of spite, the queen turned her 11 stepsons into swans and forced them to fly away. And Eliza was sent away to live with a peasant woman. When Eliza grew up, she returned home, partially because her father wanted to see her. Eliza was very beautiful, and the queen became surprised when she saw Eliza's beauty. Her stepmother prepared for her a bath having poisonous frogs. When Eliza stepped into the bath, the frogs were transformed into harmless puppies by her goodness. Annoyed at her plan's failure, her stepmother smeared the girl's face with walnut juice and tangled her hair with some ointment. The king immediately renounces Eliza when he saw her horrible appearance. Eliza left and walked until she reached a forest, where she washed her hair and face. She soon fell asleep amidst a sea of glowworms in the forest, where she dreamed of her brothers. She continued wandering for another day and night, during which angel guided her to keep her safe from harm throughout the way. Next morning, Eliza met an old woman who gave her some berries from her basket. Eliza asked the old lady if she had seen 11 princes. The woman said that she had seen 11 swans wearing golden crowns instead of 11 princes nearby the river. Eliza followed the path to the river. She hid herself behind the bushes and watched the swans. She was very surprised when at the time of the sunset, the swans attending their human form. Since they were her brothers, she embraced each of them by calling their names. They told her of their life as swans and told her that they were again turning to swans at sunrise. Eliza asked her brother how to break the spell they were under. The brother seemed to have no answer, but they offered to carry her with them. So they spent the evening weaving a net for them to carry her in. It was very large and strong. Eliza let herself down her net, and when the sun rose and her brothers again became wild swans, they took up the net with their beaks and flew up to the clouds with their dear sister. They spent the evening on a rock in the sea, hardly large enough to fit them, singing hymns for their comfort. They flew on, and Eliza saw mountains floating in the air and an enormous castle. Eventually, they arrived at the true destination, where her brothers put her to sleep in a cave, saying that they wishes to hear what she dreamed of. She dreamed that the fairy came to her. The fairy told Eliza that she must break stinging needles with her hands and feet until they could be used to weave 11 long-sleeve shirts for their brothers. Moreover, she must not speak a word while she was completing the task of her brothers would die. Next day, Eliza swiftly began her task. Her brothers were alarmed to find she did not answer their question, but when they saw her work, they understood it was for the sheikh. She finished one coat and began to work. The king of the country saw her. Astonished at her beauty, he fell in love with her. He took her to his palace with the intention of making her his bride. Soon, the king married Eliza. Still, Eliza regularly wandered into forest and gathered needles and worked upon her shirts. Some people doubted that she was a witch, but she worked on until she had 10 shirts finished and the 11 almost complete. At this point, Elsa was accused of witchcraft and sent out of her palace. She would place it near the post of a circulation. The 11 swans came and searching for her and dropped it down beside her. Elsa completed the 11 shirts and threw all the shirts over the swans. Next moment, her brother was standing beside her. When the king came there, Elsa told him the entirety of her story. The king praised it to her and gave a great dinner party for her and 11 princes. Through the story about the wild swans, I want to remind everyone that the family love and courage that can help us over chance and challenge in life. Moreover, I believe that books are not only a source of knowledge, but also a magic door to the wonderful worlds. So, let's read more books every day to discover many meaningful lessons like this one. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a wonderful day!